Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, we are back with another video, guys. Genesis chapter 10, 10th chapter of the first book of the Bible, Genesis. Let's get it. So, this is now post flood world, you can say. Um, Now, remember, God, well, they landed in the mountains of Ariat. And then God told them, I will make a new covenant with you, a new life, a new beginning, a new way of living. And so here we go. So, chapter 10. These are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. Now remember, their wives went with them um, on the boat as well too. So the sons of Japheth, right? It was Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Mashesh, Tias. The sons of Gomer are Ashkenaz. Actually, let me put that down. Yeah, I think I can see that better. Ashkenaz, Riphath, Togomach. Okay. The sons of Javan, which is another son of Japheth, is Elisha, Tarish, Kittim, Danaim. Okay. From these, the coastland peoples spread. These are the sons of Japheth, and their lands, each with his own language, by their own family, in their own nations. But the sons of Ham, keep on going, okay? So the sons of Ham. Ham is the son of Noah. We have Cush, Egypt, Put, Canaan. So the sons of Cush is Seba, Havilah, Sabbath, or Sabta, misspelled, Ramah, Sabteka. The sons of Ramah are Sheba and Dedan. Cush became the father of Nimrod, okay, which is right here. He was the first on the earth to be a mighty warrior, or to be a mighty man. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore, it is said, quote, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, and Akkad. All of them in the land of Shinar. Okay, so this is Nimrod's kingdom. He was the first mighty warrior for the Lord, hunter before the Lord. It was Babel, Erech, and Akkad. This is Nimrod's kingdom in the land of Shinar. So I looked it up actually, and I'm pretty sure it's over here, but in Iraq. It's mostly in Iraq. I think it goes as far as a little bit of Syria, and it's the Tyrus. It was said when I was researching online that the land of Shinar, the land of Nimrod's kingdom, was between the Tigris and the Euphrates River in Iraq. So this is the Euphrates. This one right here is the Tigris, and it'd come up here all the way to Syria, all the way down. So from that land, he went into Assyria and built Nineveh. He built Nineveh, Rebuhith, Kalaha, and Rezin between Neviah and Kalal. I think I have it right here. Yes. So remember, he went into the land of Assyria. Now, he conquered some of that. Either whether he conquered or he was given to them, I don't know. But from that land, he went into Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth, Kalal, and Rezin between Nineveh and Kalal. That is the great city. Rezin was a great city. Egypt became the father. Okay, so now we have to go back to Ham. Egypt is one of Ham's kids. So Egypt became the father. I think I have it right here too. Let me keep on scrolling. Yes, okay. So Egypt became the father of Ludim, Ananim, Lechabim, Naphtuim, Pathrusim, Calhusim, which hence came the Philistines, and Caphtorim. Okay. Canaan became the father. Okay. Canaan became the father of Sidon. Remember, this is still the generations of Ham. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jubusites, which is, I guess I could say, is its own kingdom when he's talking about it now, because it says Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jubusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Havites, the Arkites, the Sinites, the Avradites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. Okay. Afterward, the families of the Canaanites spread abroad, and the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon, up here. I found this map on some website. Same thing for the other ones too. So it was a map of Canaan from Sidon. Let me lower this down a little bit. Okay. Let me go right there. Okay, cool. So the territory of the Canaanites extended from Sidon in the direction of Gur over here, as far as Gaza, and in the direction of Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim, as far as Lasha over here. These are the sons of Ham by their families, their language, their lands, and their nations. Okay, so to Shem, which is another, so it was Japheth, Ham, and now Shem. This is the third son of Noah. Shem also the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth. Children were born. So to Shem also the father of all the children of Eber, the elder brother of Japheth. So Shem is the older brother of Japheth. So it's Shem, Japheth. It was firstborn Shem, secondborn Japheth, and then thirdborn Ham. Also the sons of Shem, Elam, Asu, Arpachshad, Lud, Aram. The sons of Aram are Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad became the father of Shalal, and Shalal became the father of Eber. To Eber was born two sons. The name of one was Pelag. Okay, let me keep track of this. A lot of names. Let me keep track of these. Okay, yes. For in his days, the earth was divided. So I don't know what that means by divided. It could have been by. For in his days, the earth was divided in a sense of like, oh no, that nation stays over there. I'm gonna stay over here, or we're in a disagreement, or maybe they just agreed to just disagree. I don't know. Maybe hopefully in the later chapters when I read it, I can come back to it. But for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almodad, Shelef, Hazameph, Jera, Hadoma, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havila, Jobab. So this guy was fucking pretty much. I mean, excuse my language, but this guy was, raw dogging it, right? He was not giving a damn. Oh man. Okay. A lot of kids. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. Okay. All these were the sons of Joktan. The territory in which they lived extended from Mesha in the direction of Sephar to the hill country of the east. These are the sons of Shem by their family, their language, their lands, and their nations. So it says, these are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their genealogies, and their nations, and from these a nation spread abroad on all the earth after the flood. So I have a map I found. Unless I'm wrong all the way, but I was looking at a bunch of different maps, because obviously after the flood, like it said, Noah was with his wife, he had his sons, and his sons had their wives, and then eventually they spread into their own different nations. God blessed them in the sense that, they were going to start the new civilization of the post-flood world. And like it always says, with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, with their sons, by their families, their languages, their lands, and their nations. So each son had their own families, respectively, had their own languages, their own lands, and their own nations. So it's interesting how their own languages too, maybe in the beginning it was kind of like, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Because when I first read it, I'm like, oh, what? So God just, Shem, Ham, and Japheth were brothers. They grew up together. Let's just say that, for example, they spoke English, and then all of a sudden, boom, in a flip of a finger, God said, you know what? You're gonna start speaking Egyptian. Okay, you're gonna start speaking Assyrian. Okay, you're gonna start speaking, I don't know, Spanish. But I don't think it's like that. I'm pretty sure it was they all spoke the same language, but then as their generations progressed and they kept on going on, they created their own languages. So let's go to this map. So Ham spread, where Canaan, as far as Canaan up here, even more into Assyria, uh, all the way mainly to northern Africa. Shem over here in Assyria, Jordan, countries like that, and then Japheth was like in Europe and West Asia. And then from there, they spread apart in their own respective parts, and then eventually from there, everything else spread it apart. But when I was looking at the map too, like remember when we looked at Canaan, the Canaan map, they all had similarities right there with Canaan. If you look at Shinar, remember Shinar was the land of Nimrod, the first mighty man for the Lord. Shinar was over here between the Tigris and Euphrates. So when I was comparing it to what I had with mine, I was like, okay, it kind of makes sense. And then a bunch of other research was saying the same thing too, so it wasn't like it was random. So yeah, so again, these are the families of the sons of Noah, according to their genealogies and their nations, and from these the nations spread abroad on all the earth after the flood. And that's pretty much it for the chapter. I guess the chapter just summarizes that, in the post-flood world, Shem, Ham, and Japheth had their own families. They went their own separate ways, and they had their own families from generations to generations to generations to generations. And they all went their own separate ways, and they all had their own languages, their own families, their own cultures, their own ideologies, their own different ways of doing things. And so it all, like a spider web from those three guys. So that's pretty much it. I think some of these guys had a lot of kids. Some of these guys, obviously there wasn't condoms back then, but hey. But yeah, these are the nations descended from Noah. And that's chapter 10. And so we'll see what happens in chapter 11. So you guys have a good day. Peace.